Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English TalkNest. I am Ryan.
And I'm Cindy. And today we're diving into something that everyone faces at some point, that feeling of laziness, or more exactly, that heavy resistance when we know what we want to do, but we just can't seem to make ourselves do it. That quiet voice that says, I'll do it later, the one that sounds harmless, but slowly drains your time and energy.
And yes, Cindy, this is such a real topic. Sometimes it's not that people don't have dreams or motivation. They just feel stuck. They think about doing great things, but somehow the energy just isn't there.
Exactly. You wake up with good intentions, you plan to start reading, to exercise, to study, to improve your English, or to finally work on that project. But then the day passes and you end up scrolling on your phone, watching videos, and telling yourself, I'll do it tomorrow.
And the truth is, tomorrow never really comes, right? Because when we wake up the next day, that same resistance is still there. Nothing really changes. It's not that you don't have dreams or goals. You do. It just feels heavy to begin.
So today, we want to explore why that happens. And more importantly, how you can stop being lazy and start taking action on the things that actually matter to you.
Let's start by being honest. You are not lazy by nature. Laziness is not who you are. It's a habit. It's your brain's way of protecting you from discomfort.
That's such an important point. Our brains are designed to avoid pain and seek comfort. So when you think about doing something big or difficult, like learning a new skill, saving money, or changing your lifestyle, your brain says, wait, that sounds uncomfortable. Let's stay safe and relaxed.
Exactly. It's not that you're weak or unmotivated. Your brain is just trying to protect you from what feels hard or uncertain. It wants to keep things easy, predictable, and safe. So instead of getting up to work on your dream, your brain offers you comfort, a nap, a snack, or another episode on Netflix. But here's the truth. Growth never happens inside your comfort zone.
And you accept it, not because you don't care, but because your brain is tricking you into thinking you'll feel better by avoiding the effort. But that's only true in the short term. Later, you feel frustrated and guilty for not doing what you promised yourself.
Right. Think about it like this. When you were a baby learning to walk, you fell so many times. But you didn't stop because it was hard. You kept trying because your brain was curious, excited, and focused on the reward, walking freely. Somewhere along the way, as adults, we start to fear the struggle itself. We start associating effort with pain instead of growth.
And that's when laziness sneaks in. It's not really laziness, it's fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of discomfort, fear of not being good enough.
Right. So laziness isn't a permanent state. It's simply your mind's natural resistance to discomfort. Once you understand that, you can start to change it because you realize the problem isn't you, it's just the way your brain has been trained to respond.
Let's go a little deeper. Have you ever noticed that the bigger your goal feels, the harder it is to begin?
Oh, completely. When something feels too big, your brain sees it as impossible. Like, say you want to learn to speak English fluently. Your mind jumps straight to years of study, hours of practice, and fear of mistakes. It feels like too much, so you avoid it.
Or maybe you want to get in shape. You imagine yourself running every morning, eating perfectly, and suddenly the idea feels exhausting. So you do nothing instead.
Exactly. Big goals can be inspiring, but they can also create mental pressure. The mind starts to imagine all the work, all the time, all the effort, and that creates overwhelm. And when you feel overwhelmed, you freeze.
And that's where the cycle begins. You wait to feel ready. You wait to feel motivated. But motivation doesn't come first. Action does. Motivation follows action, not the other way around.
That's one of the biggest myths people believe, that you need to feel inspired to start. But really, when you finally start doing something, even just for a few minutes, you feel better. You start to feel proud, You start to feel capable, and suddenly your motivation rises. That's because movement creates momentum.
Exactly. The hardest part is always the first step. Once you take it, everything else becomes easier. It's like pushing a car that's stuck. The first push takes the most effort, but after that, it starts rolling.
That's why the first step to overcoming laziness is to break that mental wall. So if you're waiting to feel ready, stop waiting. You won't feel ready. You become ready by starting.
So let's talk about what you can actually do. Step 1, make it small. When the goal feels too big, your brain says, no way. So make it so small that your brain says, okay, I can do that.
Yes, instead of thinking about running 5 kilometers, just put on your shoes and walk for 5 minutes. Instead of planning to organize your whole house, start with one drawer. Instead of trying to master English grammar in a week, learn just 3 new words today.
I love that because once you start, even a little bit, your energy changes. You go from I can't to I'm doing it. And that simple shift gives you momentum.
Exactly. Think about cooking. You don't make a perfect meal instantly. You start by cutting one vegetable, then another. You follow the small steps, and soon enough, there's a meal on the table. The same goes for any goal.
Small steps remove fear. They make the impossible feel possible. And when you collect small wins every day, you build confidence. You start believing in your own ability again.
So the next time your mind says, this is too hard, shrink the task. Make it tiny, because success grows from small beginnings.
The next step is to create routines that make action automatic, because willpower fades, but routines last.
Yes, willpower is like your phone battery. It drains fast when you rely on it too much. But routines are like a charger. They keep you going without needing constant motivation.
For example, if you want to study every day, connect it with something you already do. Let's say you always drink coffee in the morning. Make that your study time. Open your English app or watch a short lesson right after your first sip.
Or if you want to move more, don't plan a huge workout. Just stretch while waiting for your coffee to brew, or take the stairs instead of the elevator. These tiny routines create consistency.
Exactly. The trick is to remove friction, to make it easier to start than to skip. If your workout clothes are ready, your journal is open, your study materials are on your desk, there's no excuse. The hardest part is already done.
It's like setting the stage before the performance. When everything's ready, your mind naturally steps into the role. Routines do that. They tell your brain it's time to act.
Here's one of my favorite tools, the 2-minute rule. The idea is simple. If something takes less than 2 minutes to start, just do it.
That's brilliant because starting is usually the hardest part. Once you start, momentum takes over. Like when you begin washing one cup, you end up cleaning the whole sink.
Exactly. So tell yourself, I'll just do this for 2 minutes. Want to practice English? Just repeat one short dialogue. Want to tidy your space? Just clear your desk. Want to exercise? Stretch for 2 minutes.
And usually once you begin, you keep going. You might study for 10 minutes or stretch for 20, but even if you stop after 2 minutes, you've already built the habit of starting.
Right. Starting small removes fear. It tricks your brain into action because your brain doesn't see it as a huge, scary task anymore. It sees something easy and short.
And here's something else. Reward yourself for starting. After your 2 minutes, celebrate in a small way. Maybe listen to your favorite song, take a short walk, or enjoy a cup of coffee. That small reward tells your brain, see, taking action feels good.
Exactly. You start associating effort with good feelings, not stress. That's how you rewire your brain to enjoy taking action.
Now let's talk about fear, because fear of failure often hides behind laziness.
Yes, people say, I'm lazy, but what they really mean is, I'm afraid to fail. They don't want to start something they might not finish, so they avoid it altogether.
But here's the truth. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Think about a toddler learning to walk. They fall over and over, but each fall teaches them balance.
Exactly. Every mistake brings feedback. Every setback teaches you something about what works and what doesn't. It's how you grow stronger and smarter.
I remember trying to record my first podcast episode. I was nervous, my voice cracked, I made so many mistakes, but I didn't stop. I improved because I tried again.
Yes, and that's the real mindset. Progress through imperfection. You don't need to avoid failure, you need to learn from it. Because action, even imperfect action, beats inaction every time.
So instead of saying, I failed, say, I learned. That small language shift can change your whole outlook.
Here's another powerful mindset shift. Stop chasing perfection. Focus on progress.
Perfection is a trap. You'll never feel fully ready, and things will never go exactly as planned. But progress, that's real. That's what builds success.
Exactly. If you improve 1% every day, by the end of the year, you're not the same person anymore. Small, steady growth adds up in ways that perfection never will.
So celebrate small wins. If you studied for 10 minutes, that's progress. If you chose to walk instead of drive, that's progress. If you spoke one sentence in English today, that's progress.
Progress builds identity. Every small action tells your brain, this is who I am, and identity drives behavior. If you see yourself as someone who takes action, you'll start living like it naturally.
So forget perfect days. Focus on consistent days. The small, quiet wins are what create lasting change.
Now let's talk about the voice inside your head. You know, that little voice that says, I'm lazy, I'm not disciplined, or I always fail.
Yes, that voice is powerful because your brain listens to it. If you keep telling yourself you're lazy, your brain believes it. It becomes your identity.
Exactly. You can't build a strong habit on a weak identity. So instead of saying, I'm lazy, try saying, I'm learning to take action. Instead of, I never finish anything, say, I'm practicing consistency. It's not about lying to yourself, it's about shifting your mindset toward growth.
Those small changes in words make a big difference. You're teaching your brain a new story, one where you are the kind of person who takes action.
Right. Your words shape your reality. So speak to yourself like someone you love. Be kind, be encouraging, because the way you talk to yourself determines how you act.
I like that. When you treat yourself with compassion instead of criticism, you create the emotional safety to try again, even when you fail.
And that's how you build real discipline, not by being harsh with yourself, but by being supportive and consistent.
Sometimes it's not just about your mind. It's also about your environment. Your surroundings can make or break your habits.
Absolutely. If your environment makes it easy to be lazy, you'll stay lazy. But if it makes it easy to take action, you'll naturally do more.
For example, if you want to read more, keep a book or your e-reader where you can see it, like on your pillow or your coffee table. If you want to eat healthier, put fruit on the counter instead of chips in the cupboard. Make the good habits easy and the bad habits hard.
Or if you want to focus, clean up your workspace. A messy environment sends your brain mixed signals. A clear space helps you think clearly.
And don't forget about the people around you. Surround yourself with people who inspire action, not those who constantly complain or make excuses.
Right. Energy spreads. When you spend time with people who move forward, you naturally start moving too. Choose your circle with care.
And here's one final key. Always remember your why. Why do you want to change? Why do you want to take action?
Yes, your why is your emotional reason for doing what you do. Without it, action feels like work. With it, action feels like purpose.
When your why is strong enough, the how becomes easier because your purpose gives you energy. It keeps you going when things get hard.
If your reason is clear, you'll always find a way. Maybe your why is to live healthier, to create a better future for your family, or to simply become your best self.
Whatever it is, write it down and remind yourself every day.
Because when you remember why you started, even small steps feel meaningful.
And when you feel lazy or unmotivated, don't ask, what do I have to do? But ask yourself, what would my future self thank me for today? That one question can change everything. It reconnects you to your purpose, and purpose is stronger than laziness.
That's beautiful, Ryan, because your why gives your actions weight. It reminds you that what you do today matters tomorrow.
So let's bring it all together. If you want to stop being lazy and start taking action, here's the roadmap.
1. Make your tasks small and easy. 2. Create routines that make action easy. 3. Use the 2-minute rule to get started. 4. Redefine failure as part of the journey. 5. Focus on progress, not perfection. 6. Change the way you talk to yourself. 7. Design an environment that helps you take action. And 8. Always remember your why.
Exactly, because it's not about huge leaps. It's about small, steady steps in the right direction. That's what creates lasting change.
And even if you fail, that's okay. Everyone fails. What matters is that you keep showing up. You try again. You move forward.
So, today, make one small promise to yourself. Maybe it's to read one page, go for a short walk, or spend 5 minutes on that dream you've been putting off. Start small, but start now.
Because your dreams don't grow while you wait. They grow when you move, and every small move matters. It might not look like much, but it could be the beginning of something amazing.
Yes, don't wait for motivation, create it. Don't wait for the perfect time. This is your time, right here, right now.
You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Even little actions, repeated daily, can transform your life completely.
So, if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Start today. Take action, no matter how small, because you're capable of so much more than you realize.
Thank you for spending this time with us. We hope this conversation inspires you to move, to act, and to believe in your own power to change.
Because the first step might be small, but it's the most important one. Take it. We'll see you in the next episode.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep taking action.